There was a mishap at the aerodrome. There was a mishap at the aerodrome. Well, good evening, Glue Troopers. I hope everybody is doing well and getting ready for the Thanksgiving Day holidays. For those of you who celebrate that holiday, we're getting ready here. So anyway, first off, want to give a huge shout out to Mike Mashat. He did a great video today. I mean, he always does great videos, but this is one of his best. It was on fantasy kit models. And you know what? Instead of me going into great lengths about it, I'm just going to put a link below and you can go check it out. But they're kits that I definitely would have bought as a kid. And he also gave this channel and the Glue Troopers a shout out. So thank you for that, Mike. And guys, you're really going to enjoy this one. This is how the professionals do it. So, anywho, had to run over to PetSmart today to, not to give you too much information, but the one thing we lost in transition of all the stuff moving over was our cat's pooper scooper. Well, I went and got her one. I got her the nice, expensive one made out of unobtainium, the same stuff they use to make Captain America's shield, because according to my wife, that cat has nuclear poops and we're going to need it. So I now have a kitty cat pooper scooper that costs more than the average kit from Atlantis. But that really, did not mean to run down that tangent. What I really wanted to say is that when I went in there, I saw their aquariums. And you might be a model builder if you see a bunch of goldfish in an aquarium. The first thought that pops in your mind is, that would be a whole lot cooler if there was a model Godzilla down inside that aquarium. And all of a sudden, the wheels started turning. Sure, get the Polar Lights kit. Drill some holes in it so the water can infiltrate. Use a really good glue to something that the water will never wear on. Same for the paints. I'm assuming some sort of heavy enamel that with a thick enamel coatings that they can, there's some kind of coating I'm sure that would waterproof it. But drill some holes in it, put some lead in the tail and the feet so it'll stay in place, and drop it down in there. And when I told my wife, "Hey baby, I've got this great idea. We need a Godzilla aquarium." Told me we don't have an aquarium, but if we did, and she just goes, "Does it come with a doomed submarine?" I was like, "Genius! That's absolute genius! Yes, it must. It must get the Revell submarine that has all the missile tubes, the interior in it, and tear that apart and have Godzilla, tearing that apart underneath. Oh, that a little dark, but still awesome." And this is one of the dangers of being a model builder. So that's where my brain went. So anywho, in other news, for my Christmas present, my wife, we went out and put in the order for the Tarbis 2 today, the new shed, and she paid the down payment for me. As like that. Wow, did not see that coming. Merry Christmas. This is a sample unit. Mine is going to be saving dimensions of this 12 by 30, but it won't have the big roll-up door on the end. We'll have the 4 windows, and it'll have a 4-foot wide main door. It'll be blue with white trim. But pretty much that's what, that'll be the nucleus of Tarbis 2.0. So it'll be a few weeks before it gets here, and it's been a while before it's operational, because, we're still going to have to get it, power hooked up and, the interior done. Everything. A long way to go, but, the main part has been initiated. So I was fixing the Spitfire today, the 1/32 scale, which thankfully I finally found the canopy for. I was going around all these what I thought were empty boxes, and I know I brought all these little bits and bobs that fall off the airplanes. I put them in a box and I can't find it. Opened up an empty Aurora box, and there were all my little missing parts. So anywho, the antenna broke off, and that's a big deal. I'll just glue it back on. I cannot believe such a simple part gave me so much static. Every time, no matter how long I held it or braced it, whatever, I'd come back, it would either lean forward or lean rearward or lean left or lean right, because the hole was a little bigger than the actual stem for the antenna. And it was just one of those things that was way more trouble than it should have been. And I think it's just the great Styrene River reminding you who's really in charge. So, as you may have caught from the cold open, we had a little bit of a catastrophe today. The little road build, the Roland and the Albatross, were both crushed beyond repair. When the picture, I have those comps those Jack Linwood comps, comprehensives, and they're framed up and they had them on the shelf, and the SE5 just fell over and crushed them both. And I was like, wait a minute. I had that thing for a long time on my shelf at the old house and never had a problem with the picture falling over. And then it dawned on me, that's because I always put the SE5s in front of it. But I put 2 German fighter planes in front of a comp of a British fighter in combat. Of course it attacked. It's in its DNA. So anyway, those two are, that's just junk for the parts bin. They are definitely beyond repair. But most importantly, the comp wasn't damaged. So now I've got them leaning back at a safe angle. So that won't happen again. Never happened before. That was caught me off guard. Anyway, so crash at the display shelf. But then again, the SE5 pilot did rack up 2 kills. So speaking of being in the pilot room there, it's coming along. My wife and I spent a lot of work today. We did a whole bunch of stuff today, but one of the things we did was we did a lot of work in the pilot room, getting it all set up. It's not quite there yet. We're playing with a few ideas, but it's really taking shape. So I think that pretty much covers everything for this evening. And guys, take care of yourselves. Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving holiday. And as always, model on.